Warning, you are about to enter the BGP suite. No thongs, no boy shorts, no thigh highs, no commandos are permissible. BGP, big girl panties only. So pull up to woman up. And no, please don't leave with your panties in a bunch.
Warning, you have now entered the BGP suite, where we are not wearing thongs, we are not wearing boy shorts, we have on our big girl panties today to address our issues and hold ourselves accountable. Today we would like to discuss the bashing, all of the bashing going on between black men and black women. If you turn on YouTube, if you turn on your Instagrams, if you look at your Twitter accounts, if you look at your Facebook accounts, if you look at your TikTok accounts, you see black men saying negative things about black women. You see black women saying negative things about black men. And we need to address it because today it needs to end. It's time for solutions instead of problems. I'm tired of hearing the same things. Why I don't date black women, why I don't date black men, why the black family is destroyed. Single mothers have destroyed the world. Like, it's time to look for solutions. My name is Nisha Williams.
All I had done for this man, I tried to help him. I tried to be a good wife, a friend. I tried to give him good advice. I tried to guide him in the right direction. I tried to fix him. My name is Adrian, also known as Arthur A. Michelle, and I'm a part of BGP.
Social media is a curse and a blessing. It's a blessing because we get to reconnect with old friends, family, and get new friends that we probably will never see in life, but we get to experience their lives and their knowledge through social media. Social media can also be a curse because we live our lives in our individual states and cities, and we think that drama and dysfunction only goes on in our city. When you get on social media, it's worldwide. You have a lot of people that don't have any personal social skills, and they can be anything that they want to do or be anything that they want to be on social media. They can join the lonely club. They can join the depressed club. They can join the somebody broke my heart. A woman took my money. I can't get enough sex. Blah, 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 blah. And we just get to connect to dysfunction all over the world. And people begin to project their problems and their negativities to everyone. And we have a lot of vulnerable people on social media. I am Mona Lachey. So, ladies, why do you think we're having gender wars again when we think that, they're over? Let me say this. I've been on these social media streets for about 11 years. I've witnessed groups and projects and pages come and go. For example, the Black Man Stand Up, the Chastity Belt, Keep Your Legs Closed, the No More Single Mothers, the Stop Simping movement, and all these different movements have come and gone. And then we had this infamous YouTuber who had several channels where he just picked the most true articles about black women, the ratchetest things that they could do on the planet. And then he took clips from World Star and where they were fighting until they were darn near naked. And then he crossed over to female entertainers. And it just went on and on and on. And then I got to witness Hidden Colors. And then we got to witness The Blackest Planet on the channel. And then we got to witness the femininity groups. And so then 2020 hit. And it hit us like a tsunami. We lost an icon, Kobe Bryant. But I told myself in 2020 that I was not going to fall victim to being emotional about all the murders and killings of our people. And I kept seeing this article about Breonna Taylor. And I said, nope, I'm not going to open it. And I didn't. A few months down the line, there was this article. Well, not an article, it was a video. And I said, nope, I'm not going to watch it. And it kept coming down my feed, and I kept ignoring it. And then one day, I broke my own promise, and I opened it up. And I saw a black man, George Floyd, slowly losing his life. And all across the world, everybody heard, "Mama!" And it shook me to my core. And I had to go into my bathroom and compose myself. And then we had black people talking about no more. And we were tired of police officers killing us without impunity. And we started asking for black empowerment and that we were going to build communities because, see, in every ethnic group, there is a community that is head. It is governed. It is authorized by the men. Now, see, we have large demographics where black people dwell, but we don't actually have a black community that's owned and controlled and passed down by black people. And the men are supposed to be the governors of that environment. So if the environment is screwed up, whose fault is it? We're going to answer those questions today. And as we went along, we saw that we were asking for reparations, and even Ice Cube got on board. And then we were fighting about Donald Trump being in office and saying don't vote. And then we had people saying and debating about voting for the lesser of the two evils. And then right towards the end, a young lady called into a YouTube channel and asked a simple question. And we're going to talk about that in depth on another episode. But she was degraded. And whatever self-esteem she had when she walked in, it was lowered. She was rated. He talked belligerent to her. And everybody thought it was cute, and everybody thought it was funny. And any female that co-signed that, you off cold. And everybody just jumped on the bandwagon to talk about this little clip that went viral on World Star. Not because they actually cared, but because they wanted to monetize. Mm-hmm. That's not cool. So I digress, and I'm going to ask you again. So ladies, why do you think we are actually having gender wars again?
I don't think gender wars ever ended. I think once it started, it has never stopped. And it's just been manifesting over and over for decades after decades. And then, like I said, until we heal, until we come up with more solutions instead of problems, we are going to continue to see what we have been witnessing, even through police violence, even through murders, even through the disrespect on social media platforms. We're going to continue to see it until both sides come to the table and come up with more solutions instead of problems.
Mm-hmm. I believe there's just a complete double standard. We are looked at and held to a different accountability. We just do not are seen the same way. And I look at that, especially when I think about even with now that I'm back in the dating scene, if I juggle a few men, and I have a few men on my squad, it's looked at so ugly. Mm-hmm. But the male, he's looked at as that's another notch in his little belt. So I'm dealing with that right now when I don't want to be exclusively in a relationship. But that is what I think of when I first think of gender wars. It's such a different way that we're looked at opposed to men.
I think that the double standard is always going to be here. And I think it should be here because men have a higher burden to carry if they're supposed to be providers and protectors. But I believe, and this just is my opinion, that we are having gender wars because we have disrespected the chronological order of man, woman, getting together and having children. Mm-hmm. We have men that refuse to be men. They have no pride in being men. And we have women that refuse to be women. They have no pride in being women. And so whenever we have people that are refusing to be who they are naturally supposed to be, we're going to have the chaos that we see today. We got the men on this side who are softer than toilet paper, and we got the women on this side who is harder as that Gorilla Glue old girl put in her hair.
Right.
And so let's say that we are male and female vehicles, and we're going down this highway called life. And whenever we merge together, we're supposed to merge with honesty and integrity and truthfulness. And I know I'm old, but I remember that I heard that the men were supposed to correct the men and the women were supposed to correct the women.
That is a fact.
Mm-hmm.
And
but
I'm young.
Right?
But what we see here is that the men are drunk driving all in the women's lane. Mm-hmm. The women are drunk driving all in the men's lane. Mm-hmm. And now we're crashing into each other. Mm-hmm. So now these two vehicles get out and they're arguing back and forth. It's your fault. No, it's your fault. No, it's your fault. And neither one have the mental insurance to fix the problem. So they holler at each other a little more. Now somebody got a broken tail light. Somebody got a dent in their car. Somebody's window is bashed out. And so they leave and they go off into the highway and they just keep on running and running and running until they run into another vehicle. And they try to convince this other vehicle that my vehicle is just as new as yours. And then they crash again. So we just keep on having these massive crashes. Both male and female have to hold themselves accountable for their actions.
Exactly.
I agree.
Both male and females have to be responsible. And we have to treat each other with kindness. We already talked about the people that are not going to make it. We already know who those people are. So why do we continue to have so much energy for negative things?
Negativity sells.
Exactly.
Unfortunately.
It really does. Yeah.
Negativity sells. Mm-hmm. As I said earlier, until we correct it and put things in their proper place, we are going to continue to see negativity win and positivity pretty much be dusted away.
So where are we seeing all this negativity? Where are we seeing all these gender wars happen?
You can turn on YouTube and just enter the words black man bashing or black women bashing, and you will see a ton of videos showing where women are yelling at men, men are yelling at women, men are pummeling women in the street and no one's coming to their aid. Men are, and women are pummeling men as if they're men, like fighting men, like there's two guys fighting each other, like they don't know each other. You will see it on YouTube. You will see it on TikTok. You will see it on Twitter. You will see it on Facebook. Like there is no secret. It's so much so you can even you can turn on your TV shows and your movies and they're based off of our social media accounts.
Well, my question to both of you then would be, what is our place as women? What is our place? Is there a lane that we're supposed to stay in? Is there, when do we deviate out of that, or should we? Or do we always have these same roles that go all the way back from beginning of time? I know we want our men to lead and we want to give them that leadership role, but don't they have to have leadership skills in order to lead? So what is our place? Where do we belong?
I think that's something that we're going to talk about later on. You guys, this is a special edition. This is not the direction that BGP is going in. We are not going to do this. We're not delusional to think that this is going to stop overnight. Mm-hmm. We know it's going to take some time, but we just wanted to shine a light on it. It's happening on social media. You just joined Clubhouse. And you
Yes.
said, and Clubhouse is new.
And they are bashing. You have men bashing in club rooms. You have women bashing in club rooms. You have men sitting there saying, why I don't date black women? Why if I do date you, you have to look like this. If you want to be able to date a high value man, you have to fit this particular category. You have women on the other side who are being kicked out and removed and told to shut up when they say it doesn't fit. It's not correct. What if I already have this? What if I'm already a high value woman? Like, it's bad and it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, we created BGP because we are absolutely weary of the gender wars. We are disgusted by the male bashing. We are embarrassed by the female bashing. And we have to get it together. A dollar is only valuable because it has two sides. So the title of our broadcast is Let's Get Ready to Rumble, the Black Gender War. I want to change the title. I want to change it to the Petty War. I want to change it to the immature, childish, I'm in preschool, I don't know how to get along with the opposite sex war. I want to change it to, I want to point my finger at you so I can deflect off of myself, but I don't want to acknowledge the three fingers that are pointing back at me war. We're too old for this. We are losing. We are at the bottom. It's 2021 and we need to change. So let's fight. Let's fight. Let's fight fair. Let's talk about the scandalous stuff that women and men do to each other, and we call it love. We call it normal. We call it relating. Let's talk about that. Anybody got any stories they want to tell right now before I get it cracking? Like I say, a coin is only valuable if it has two sides. So we gonna go ladies first. So one of your homegirls met a man. He was fine. He had his own place. He had his resources together. He had a little money in the bank. He met her. She appealed to all his senses. So he was like, I think I like this lady. I want to move her in with me. He moved her in. He told her she didn't have to work. They were getting along really fine. I say about 4 years. In that 5th year, his job changed management. And he wasn't getting along with the management. So on this particular day, they got into a verbal altercation and it went all the way to the left. So left that he got terminated.
Ooh.
But he's cool because he got a little nest egg. He goes home and he talks to his woman and he tells his woman, I just lost my job today. But don't sweat it, baby. I got a little money put aside. But as I'm looking for a job, I would appreciate if you would at least look for a part-time job, ladies.
Oh, I'm good with that.
I'm cool with that.
Tell me. No, you cool with it. You cool with it. Some people in the audience might be cool with it. But what would be some of the answers that a woman would answer when he says she needs her to go get a part-time job?
Well, let me go back. Is that his wife or is that his girlfriend?
Yeah.
It's his woman.
No, it makes a difference because you have some women who believe they are housewives and believe they don't have to work. And so if a man comes home, especially their spouse, and say that, they feel like they don't have to do that and they don't want to. But if she's just his girlfriend, she should want to help out, especially if she's trying to prove that she's that woman that he needs in his life. There are some women who are trophies who don't expect to work. They feel like they looks get by for everything. So if that man comes home and says, I need you to get a part-time job, they're probably going to say no.
There are women that think they're trophies.
True.
There are women that have entitlement issues. I don't care if it's his wife or his woman.
She should be willing.
She should be willing, but let me tell you what I think is going to happen. And I know that happens often. Number one, she's going to leave like a thief in the night.
Okay.
Number two, she's going to cuss him out and ask him, why would you quit your job when you knew you had to pay all these bills?
Yeah.
Number three, she's going to tell him she's not going to get a job and she's not leaving. So now He's lost his job. His woman is on one. And he can't put her out because, see, we do little silly stuff like play house. So she's got a little male in her name coming to the house.
So he would have to evict her.
Yes.
So she's established residence.
Right.
Correct.
And so he's going to have to go through the proper procedures to get her out. That's the kind of stuff that we do to each other. Let's flip it. So, we went out to the club last night. It was about 5 or 6 of us. We got one girl that suffered from low self-esteem. And here come Bum Johnny.
Oh, shit.
Now, Bum Johnny is what the new girls or the new generation would call a hobo-sexual.
Oh, he's a dusty.
Okay.
He not really necessarily dusty. He fine. He got a few designer outfits that he got from his last conquest. He got a good mouthpiece.
He's a dusty.
And he knows how to manipulate women with his mouth and his looks and his sex.
Right.
No
So he
doubt.
looks over there and he know which one to pick out.
Oh, yeah.
And he picks out our homegirl. And she all giddy because, you know, she don't really
Because she
get
don't
all
get
that
attention.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
She don't get attention.
Right, right.
Got you.
And we like, girl, don't do it. But she not going to listen.
Right.
Because she
She
been
loving
lonely.
her attention. She loving her attention.
She been lonely. She ain't had a man in a long
Exactly.
time. So she get with baby. And it starts off real good.
As always.
Now, we don't know what kind of job he got, you know. But he cooking. He might have
Oh, Lord.
boosted a couple of steaks from the grocery store. So he cooking, you know. He knows she got a good job. She got her own place. Nice car.
Yeah.
Little backup 401k plan. He acting his behind off.
Oh, yeah. He putting it on thick.
House
He put
smell
it
good.
and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
hitting
love her,
up
rubbing on her
everything.
when she
Yeah.
come home.
Have a nice
Right.
day.
Knocking
I'll
on,
be here.
knocking it out the park. So
Right.
He know what he doing.
He
Right.
know what he doing.
Yeah,
Right.
he know.
So he get her a cell phone. So she get him a cell phone.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
there's the start. That's
Let me
it.
drink
And
my glass of
eventually,
wine. I need some wine for this shit.
Right.
and eventually, she allows him to use her car to take
there you
her
go.
to work.
Oh, no, not that one. Yeah, drink up. Drink. This is one of them moments.
Yeah.
So he takes her to work. He drops her off. And periodically on the way home, he pulls out them love songs, pop in that rap,
Wow.
push the seat back, you know, he looking out the back window, he honking at everybody, giving the peace sign out, and he picking up other women.
Ooh, that sound like Jody from Baby Boy. Don't it?
And sometimes he takes her or his little side women to her house and sleeps with them in her bed, and then he drops them off and picks up his woman like nothing didn't happen.
Right.
And this goes on for months and months and months, and then pretty soon he's not as attentive as he used to be.
Because he's ready to move to the next conquest.
Exactly.
He's not cooking like he used to do. The house don't smell like Lysol.
Okay.
Comment. Them nice little candles
Right,
that
right.
she's accustomed to. He's not catering to her. Matter of fact, he's downright
Rude.
irritated. Always on
On
Xbox.
10, looking for an argument. Looking for a reason to leave.
Wow.
Eating up all the food in the refrigerator. Bills is getting higher. He don't have no job now.
You didn't have one in the beginning.
Yeah. But she tired. So she sits him down and she says, baby, this not working. What do you think is going to happen, ladies?
Oh, he gonna get ugly.
He gonna cuss her out and tell her all about herself and her self-esteem. And he not gonna go nowhere until he finds that next conquest. And she can't do nothing about it. Except, like we said earlier, follow those steps for a notice of eviction, which he
Right.
probably knows so
Oh
well.
yeah. Because this is
Oh,
his.
so well.
He know what he doing.
Yeah.
He's going to leave like a thief in the night because he got another woman.
If he has the
If
next
that-
conquest.
yeah.
Yes.
Otherwise, he's going to break her down even more. He knows her self-esteem is already low.
Right.
So he's going to break her down even more and get her to let him stay even longer. He's going to come up with some drawn-out, crazy excuse, but baby. Or make her feel like you can't get nobody else anyway. You might as well. You know what I mean?
Or he gonna cuss her out.
Oh, yeah.
He gonna tell her, you know how many women want to be
Yes.
with me? I'm up here trying to make you vibrant.
I made you relevant.
I
You
made
so
sure
ungrateful.
if it wasn't
Right.
for me, nobody would be paying attention to you.
Or he's gonna destroy everything in our house.
Yeah, that has happened. I've seen stories of that too. So yes.
Or he's going to say he ain't going nowhere either. And like I said, we playing house. And now she got loser Larry she can't get rid of. Homegirls not talking to her because they told her so. And she got to go through the system to get this brother out.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And that's what we call relating.
You know, that sounds like that guy that I saw on social media who was teaching black men how to be a hobosexual.
Oh my God.
And he said the same thing. Make sure you cook her favorite meal. Make sure you put her ass to sleep.
Hold up. Did you see it? Okay. We're going to rewind.
Right?
We're going to rewind. Because he said, make sure on the first night that you hit it is on a work night.
Yep.
Get it in.
Yep.
Put it on her so bad she fall asleep.
Yep.
And then when she wakes up, if she don't tell you to leave, stay.
Stay.
And then when she comes home that
Make
next
sure you
day,
have her meal.
get her prepared. Sweet nothings. Get her a
classic
meal.
manipulator.
Hit it. Hit it again.
Yes.
And never go home. Really?
Right.
It happens.
It happens.
It does.
It
does.
happens.
It does.
It's
Because
really
you
sad.
can really, they know what to do. They are manipulative. They have worked the system as you.
For a long
yes.
time.
So they know how to do it.
And
they know how
train
to.
the next generations
Yeah.
to follow in their footsteps.
I want to say this. Women,
Yes.
ladies,
Yes.
females,
Ladies.
if you don't like that man, don't get in his pockets. Men, if you don't like that female, don't get in her panties. We got big issues here.
Sure do.
Just like women have their girls' nights out, men have their men nights out. I don't care if it's in the man cave, if it's in the backyard, if it's on the street corner, if it's holding up traffic, if it's at the bar, at the gambling shack, at the pool table. If you're playing ball, you guys gossip, and some of y'all gossip more than women.
Yes.
Yeah, they do.
And when y'all get together and have a few drinks or hit a few blunts or take your perks or whatever drugs
Drug
you
you
using,
take. Drug of choice.
Right. Right.
y'all talk about women.
Yeah, they do.
Y'all talk about love. Y'all talk about relationships. And don't tell me I'm lying because I've been in the hair
It's
care
on social
industry.
me- it's on social media.
Hold on. I've been in the hair care industry for 27 years, and I've worked in big salons where they have both male and female stylists and barbers.
So you hear it.
So if you have 15 people in one salon and the clients, you got about 45 people. One in the chair, 15 waiting. And at any time, on any day, somebody is going to come in and be like, man, let me tell you about what my wife did today. Man, let me tell you about this broad I met on the street. And the women gonna be like, girl, let me tell you what my husband tried to do today. Let me tell you how this man tried to get at me today. And then, because now we're this big family, we don't have to ear hustle. Everybody gets to hear. So the men are on this side and the women is on this side. And so now it's this big debate. And I'm saying to you right now, you have men in your circles that you know are not doing the right things. And here's the thing. Women, when you talk about us, when you discuss us, when you say what you don't like, and all your disgruntlements, is very graphic, it's very detailed, it's very specific. And we get life sentences. We get 20 years
We gonna die alone.
with no parole.
We gonna die alone.
We don't get parole and probation. We get the death penalty. When your homeboys is telling you them stories about how they did somebody wrong, or how they a player, or how they got somebody to buy them a Rolex, or take them on a staycation, or in some of these motorcycle clubs where the women is financing them little trips that they go out of town on while their women is at home, or their wives is at home. Y'all give them a slap on the wrist. Or, you a wild boy. Y'all need to correct that.
Yes.
See?
Please.
We're going to have to come to a point in time when men admit that they have ruined a lot of women's lives.
Yes. Take ownership.
We're going to have to come to a point in time in life where women admit that they have ruined a lot of good men's lives.
Yes.
True.
We're going to have a come to Jesus moment when we admit, men, that you have been reckless with your penises.
Reckless.
Women, that you have been reckless with your vaginas.
Yes.
Yep.
It's going to have to be a time when we admit that we have been deceptive with our motives and our mouthpieces. There's going to have to be a time when the elders admit that they have failed us.
Yes.
The elders are supposed to be the people that pass the baton to the next generation to ensure that they do better than them, even to surpass them. They are supposed to give them that wisdom and that knowledge and tell them the things to look out for, but they haven't. Because they too wanted to be reckless with their penises and their vaginas.
Yeah.
They too wanted to be deceptive with their mouthpieces and their motives. Somebody want to be a sugar daddy to some of these young girls, running all through them. Somebody want to be a sugar mama and a MILF. A MILF. What the hell is it called? A MILF?
It's MILF.
A cougar.
It's MILF.
Yeah.
It's MILF.
You got it.
Well, you should-
No. Entanglement.
That's the new one.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
that's our new one.
Entanglement.
Entanglement.
If y'all don't knock it off.
Entanglement.
Yes, it's
It's the
entanglement.
new one. That's the new
Yeah, get on board.
Entanglement. Come on. It's 2021.
Yeah.
Entanglement.
Same thing though, MILF.
Same thing.
They just got a new little handle on it.
Yeah.
We are a hot mess.
Yes, we
Yes.
are.
Both males and females.
I agree.
We out here acting like juveniles. We have to be able to get along with each other. We have to. And I'm an elder. I'm 60 years old. I'm an elder. And I've heard elders say that they can't talk to the youth. So they see what's going on. They turn their noses up. They shake their heads. They talk in these little secret groups. But you can talk to the youth. I do it every day. I could tell a young man when I go outside this facility today to pull his pants up, and he will do it. Now, his pants might fall down because he don't got
don't
no
have
belt
no
on,
belt.
but he's going to do it. You can't disrespect the youth. We were brought up that you had to respect your elders. The youth say that respect is
given.
earned every day. See, it used to be a time when your granddaddy, your great grandmama, your auntie, your cousin,
Anybody.
your neighbor could be like,
neighbor.
come here, Angela, let me holler at you.
Exactly.
Oh, I seen what you did today.
And tell.
And I ain't going to tell on you today. But you better not do it again.
There you
and
go.
You was like,
and
yes,
check
ma'am.
you just like, yes. We
Now
got
we
away
say
from that.
we're afraid to talk to the youth. No, we're a bunch of cowards. We're a bunch of cowards.
Do you think it's too late? Do you think it's kind of too late to say that now because the elders have failed the generations that came? Starting with the baby boomers, passing down to the Generation X? Because Generation X, which is kind of what I'm part Generation X, part millennial, right? And so from our perspective, it's kind of like y'all dropped the ball based on what was handed to y'all. And a lot of you guys kind of was just like, I'm about self. I got to survive by myself. Oh, well. And so we was just like handed
Thrown out
everything
there.
and was
Yeah.
like, good luck.
Right.
And so we did the best we could. And then came the millennial generation.
Actually, you weren't handed anything
True.
because we were taught, go to school, go to college.
Get it.
get a good job, be on that job for 25 years so you can establish seniority,
Right.
get that little 25-year pen,
Right.
pour some money into your 401k, buy a house, have your kids, and then retire.
And what happened?
That's not working for you guys.
Correct.
You guys cannot afford houses.
Correct.
It's a whole different.
And a lot of
College is not working for you guys.
And a lot of boomers didn't leave anything down to the next generation to get into that next lane to be successful. A lot. Not all, but there are a lot who kind of left us shorthanded. And I know it has to do with what took place between the 70s and the 80s. I get that. But because of that, do you feel that there also should be, like, I won't say grace, but there should be some kind of consideration for our behavior or a lack of respect when it comes to elders because of that?
I think there's some merit to that, because here's the thing that elders don't understand. We were once the youth.
Correct.
Right.
We didn't do what our parents told us to do.
Not always.
We missed curfew. We was trying to hide a little monkey bite.
Oh, yeah.
We had unprotected sex.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Our music was terrible.
Yes.
It wasn't as terrible as WAP and Throw Baby.
No. Right.
But our parents didn't like our music.
Right.
They didn't.
It can be fixed. It just has to be a new approach.
Yes.
The youth are
Definitely.
going to say that they don't like traditional values, but then some of them want traditional values in a modern way. We just need to be able to sit at each other's feet
That's it.
and really talk. And that's why when we started BGP, we wanted a 20-year-old and a 30-year-old
Yeah.
because we know that if we get into a surrounding and we start talking about men and relationships, that we have one thing in common. That we cannot sustain healthy relationships with the opposite sex.
Yes.
So something has to click in your head and you have to be able to say,
Yeah.
maybe, just maybe it's not the men's fault. Maybe it's something that we do
We're
as
lacking.
women initially that gets the dysfunction started. Number one, something that we do subconsciously, which would be we haven't healed from our past hood traumas.
Yes.
Whether it be family traumas,
Yes.
whether it be heartbreak,
True.
whether it be divorce and you got taken for your money and you have to start all over again. So
Yes.
you're jaded and you never love again.
Bitter.
And those become the men and the
Angry.
women that are
Right.
angry and they're going to be players.
Yes.
Then we have the, I said conscious. I said unconscious. What the hell did I say? Subconsciously, right? I said unconsciously. Well, God,
Subconscious.
subconscious. But then we have the conscious.
Yes.
Oh, we know.
That they have been hurt so bad, they ain't going to get hurt again.
Yes.
I'm getting you before you get me.
Exactly. I
Yes.
feel you. I feel that one.
They haven't healed from their trauma. They haven't healed from their past, but they think to be able to correct that, they just have to get into another relationship and it's
Exactly.
going to solve everything, and it doesn't. So now they're in these relationships and they're transferring their dysfunction onto new
To
people.
the next person.
We don't allow that healing.
Right.
Yep.
What's the common phrase?
yeah.
Hurt people.
Hurt people.
Right.
So we carry that same baggage and
Over
messed up,
and
jacked
over.
up energy into the next relationship, and it just cycles.
going.
Right.
And you wonder why you can't keep a relationship.
Yep.
And we're paranoid in
Exactly.
these relationships.
Yes.
And we looking for something to happen.
Yes.
What you say?
Just waiting.
Yes.
Oh,
You
yes.
just like
On
so and
edge.
so. You just like so and so.
Yeah.
I know you. Oh, he did that too.
Yeah, because they do stuff that
He-
triggers it,
he
and it
did
makes
that
you
too.
remember that same. You got the same pattern. Now.
No, but you cannot make new people pay
For an old person.
for old people's
Yes.
things that they did to traumatize you. I didn't do it. I
I
wasn't
know
there.
it wasn't
Correct.
me.
It's not my
it
fault.
wasn't me,
Correct.
right?
So you have to heal first before you get in these relationships. But more importantly, number 3. Oh, I can't even count. 1, 2, 3. Number 3. Maybe it's actually because we don't have the skills to interact with each other. Maybe it's because we've never been taught how to relate man versus women. Maybe that's it.
You think we don't have the emotional intelligence to communicate with one another?
I wouldn't call it an emotional intelligence, but we're going to do a broadcast and we're going to talk about it. But
Because I think we do.
I do too. I think it's just so much hurt there.
Yeah, I think we could. I think
It's just so much hurt.
I think if we come to the table and we agree to not only speak our truth, but also agree to listen to the other side, not sit there to respond, not sit there and wait and be like, but agree to listen and hear each other out. I think we can come to proper solutions to have better communication skills with one another. I think we have the emotional intelligence to be able to do that. We're not dumb. We're not ignorant people. We're not, we're not special. Like we can do this. Most of us are adults. Most of us are over the age of 18.
Right.
We should be able to have a proper discussion with one another without the name calling, without the disrespect, without the bashing.
But I think so many times we have our feelings on our sleeves, and we're always thinking that someone is out to attack when they're not. They're really trying to give you some guidance. They're trying to help you. But we, like you said, we need to be willing to listen, and they need to be willing to take that advice. Yeah. And not take it as someone's just criticizing you.
Correct.
Right.
Don't look at it as,
as criticism.
There's nothing, let me take that back. There's nothing wrong with criticism.
Right.
Conductive criticism. There's nothing wrong with it. I have no problem.
Constructive.
Correct. Constructive.
Yeah.
I had some wine.
Right. Constructive.
I have no problem with being criticized for my actions. I have no problem with holding myself accountable. Right. So if I'm doing something wrong and an elder sees me doing something wrong, or a male or man sees me doing something wrong and say, hey sis, the way you're doing this, you might want to correct that because this. Cool.
And it's also about the approach. And
True.
you know what I mean? The approach, because sometimes people can come at you. You can say the same exact thing one way, and I receive it just as beautiful. Okay, I understand. But then it's sometimes the approach. If the words they use, the voice they use, the tone. So it has a lot to do with that too. And we have to be willing to, when we talk to people, talk to them, not at them.
True. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think it's a little more complicated than having emotional intelligence, which you might perceive as intelligent. Somebody else
True.
may think you the dumbest person on the planet.
Yes.
I believe that we just never were taught how to interact. We just threw our children out in the world, and now boy meets girl, and they don't know what the hell to do. There's things you have to instruct children.
Yeah.
You have to instruct them in a manner that they will go out into the world and be thriving adults. And like you said, we have to be willing to meet each other, not as our representatives, but as the true people that we really are.
Yes.
And put everything
Down
on
to
the
earth.
table.
I agree.
This is who I am.
Right.
I agree.
These are my faults.
I agree.
These are my strengths. These are my weaknesses.
Yes.
And then be able to, we hear because we got 2 ears. We have to learn how not to listen to respond in a defensive manner. We have to listen with empathy and understanding about how this person feels. And then have comprehension behind what we just heard. We're listening to with each other. Are you finished?
Right.
So we can hurry up.
because I don't want to forget
lash
my
out.
thought.
Right.
Right.
And we have to treat each other like human beings. Look, this is ridiculous, y'all.
Yeah,
we are getting laughed at. Correct. We're at the bottom. We're the poorest people on the planet. And we keep having these gender wars. And I hate her. And I hate her. And I hate him. And he's too fat. And she's too skinny. And men going your own way. Where the hell y'all going? Where you going?
Exactly.
Where you going? Sex dolls? Where you going? Women, where y'all going with your little dildos? Where y'all going? Y'all telling me that you guys are so immature that you cannot have decent conversations and decent relationships with one another. It used to be a time, I know when I was growing up, because men say that women and men can't be friends because they'll have an ulterior motive. They might want to have sex with them. And that might be absolutely
And
true.
that might be true.
But when I was growing up, we had little brothers. We had little nephews. And
Right.
we looked out for each other.
Yeah.
If they seen Mona happy, they was happy. But if they seen Mona mobbing off by herself, they knew Mona
It was a
going
problem.
to fight.
It was
and
a
they
problem.
going to
There's an issue. Exactly.
assist her. We just have to get to the basics of liking each other.
Yes.
We cool in the bedroom.
Right.
Oh, yeah. We put aside a whole lot of
Right.
stuff.
Vagina and penis don't have no problems
Right.
with one another.
Right.
It's
They
the people
talk.
behind them.
Yeah.
Oh, they love each
They
other.
talk.
Right.
Yeah.
They good. They good. They good. They have no problems.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness.
Right. Wow.
Well, we didn't talk that little
We didn't
butts
talk.
off.
Yeah.
Did we?
We have.
Final thoughts, ladies.
It's time for solutions. The bashing really needs to stop on all platforms. I am open to having a discussion if it's done right with anybody. Most people know I like to talk, so I'm open to having discussions with anyone if it's done right and it's conductive and it's going to be of value for our community. But the bashing, the pointing of fingers, the name calling, and the ratings, ranking yourself, telling people they gonna die by themselves, telling them that their size is gonna cause them to be unmarriageable. You can't get married, or you hit the wall, or whatever it is they say these days. Like, we need to stop that, because the younger generation is watching, and I know for me, that's not something I would want them to learn. I would want them to be able to say, see us get along. And that's my thought.
Yeah, I agree. They are watching us. The youth is watching us. They mimic what they see. We need to be a better example. We need to sit down on platforms like this and other places. When you identify that there is a problem somewhere, be willing to get in the trenches and do whatever it is that we could do. We have to build our community up, because we are, like you said, people are laughing at us. We look a hot mess.
Yes.
And I think if we are, like you said, take ownership of where we are, where we sit, where we stand, our issues, our traumas, even childhood issues, we need to be able to work through those things so we can, because they're going to surface and come up in other areas in our lives, in our relationships. So we need to deal with those things. And I think this is a good start.
We have to learn to love on each other.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have to learn how to pour in great affirmations to each other. We have to learn how to uplift one another.
Yes.
My final thought is this, and it's a question. Are we sick of the stereotypes? Or are we the stereotypes that are sick of being caught being them? BGP?
BGP.
This is our first broadcast. This is a special edition broadcast. Ladies, we have something very exciting for you coming up real soon. We're out.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Deuces.
Deuces.